So how is actually the big TTK patch? Is it good? Or maybe it's not really the best idea to implement it? Guys, today we're gonna be taking a look at the big weapon patch that's currently implemented in the CTE and will be coming into the vanilla game most likely in January. There is no statement from DICE about it, so even if you ask in the comments for the precise date, none of the given dates will actually be officially confirmed. Before we begin the topic, I just want to say that yes, the footage you're watching is from the vanilla game and not from the CTE, and this is due to the fact that currently there is no one playing there. So I decided to put in gameplay where I'm actually doing something, rather than gameplay where I'm running around the map and not even meeting anyone for like 5 minutes. But back to the topic of TTK patch, I have to say that I really don't know what to say here. Because while there is a group of people who love the patch and they want it to be implemented into the vanilla game, then there is a second group of people who don't want it and don't want the meta of the game to be changed a year after release. And here I am, kind of in the middle, because I don't think it's a good idea to change the whole game meta, especially 9 months before the next game will come out, but at the same time, I like the idea of TTK patch. I think that at this point in time, we can all agree that the idea for balancing weapons in Battlefield 1 just sucked. Let's not be afraid to say this. DICE came out with the new idea, and it simply didn't work. I'm aware that there is a group of people who actually enjoy Battlefield 1 weapon balance, and they think that balancing SMGs for the close range, then the LMGs and self-loading rifles, and at the end snipers for the long range was good. I'm not gonna discuss this in this particular video, but the majority of players just didn't like it. Because due to all of those weird damage drop-offs, random recoils, spread, visual recoils, random everything, you can't really control your weapon other than just spraying full auto or doing long sprays, which you can't really control anyway. And because of that fact, currently we ended up in the game with the weapon balance that relies on either magazine size or fire rate. And this is the answer why everyone runs with the Autonubico or the Hellriegel, because they're easy to use and they're effective at the same time. And before anyone says that in previous game, that being Battlefield 4, we also had AEK, which had insanely high rate of fire and you could compare it to Automatico. No, you can't compare it to Automatico. The AEK was 100 times harder to control. And with the Automatico, you don't even need to use the right mouse button to aim down the sights. But not discussing how much skill it actually takes to play Battlefield 1, the weapon TTK patch actually fixes it up to some point. The simple explanation of TTK patch that's going around the Battlefield community is that all of the weapons will take 1 bullet less to kill the opponent. And while yes, this is true, but not entirely. Some weapons will be tweaked even more to be able to be competitive with other weapons like the Hellriegel, for example. So at the end of the day, the ultimate idea for TTK patch is to make worse guns better and more competitive with the better ones, and the better ones less better, so that they wouldn't stand out that much. I can't really explain it, but you know what I'm talking about here. They want to balance all of the weapons across the board so that you have more variety and you can actually see players using other weapons rather than the Automatico and Hellriegel 24/7. Shotguns will also get redesigned in this patch and become more consistent so that you don't end up in situations where sometimes you shoot someone from 2 meters and the guy survives, and sometimes you shoot someone on 10 meters and the guy is dead within 1 shot, even though he was at 100 HP. And personally, I think that those changes are great. I've played on the CTE for about 20 hours since the TTK patch was implemented and I really enjoyed it. There's really nothing to complain about. But as I said at the beginning of this video, I'm still not really sure whether this is a good idea to implement this patch 9 months before releasing the next game. Because if they change all of the weapons, personally, I won't really care much, because I'll just adapt and learn to play with the new best weapons and generally learn to use all of them after getting rebalanced. But this is me, and I know that there is tons of players out there who have their favorite weapons, favorite loadouts, and there is a very high possibility that with the release of TTK Patch, those loadouts will not be as good or they will be just simply terrible. 90% of player base are just casual players who want to join the game, play it with friends and enjoy their time. And while there is nothing wrong with it, of course, I know that if their stuff gets changed, especially after such a long time after the release, they might get upset and just not play the game. I'm not exaggerating it right now. We've already seen it in Battlefield 4 when DICE decided to fix the head glitch and they zeroed all snipers to 100 meters. In the original Battlefield 4 build, all of the snipers were zeroed to 0 meters. And because of that, when DICE decided to change it to 100 meters, they basically reduced the bullet drop on all snipers. So now you might ask the question, wasn't it easier to snipe if they reduced the bullet drop? Well, it was easier, but if someone has put thousands of hours to learn how to snipe with the increased bullet drop before the patch, then they were frustrated, because DICE has changed something that they've spent thousands of hours to learn to do. And I know that some of you who are dedicated to Battlefield series might not really understand this problem, but the average consumer doesn't play only one game. Average player plays multiple games and if they don't like one, they'll just move on to the other one. Anyway, that would be it for this video. Let me guys know what do you think about TTK Patch. Do you want it to be implemented or maybe you don't want it? Write down the comment. Remember to share the channel. We're trying to hit 5k before the January 22nd. As I've already promised, if we do, I'm gonna reveal my face, answer all of your questions about who I actually am and maybe even show how much I make on YouTube. As always, if you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and I see you on the battlefield!